Afroman recently won his lawsuit against the corrupt police officers, if he believes him, and he's now going after the judge overseeing the case. It was just yesterday we were literally celebrating with Afroman his historic victory.
Yeah, we did it, America. Yeah, we did it. Freedom of speech. Right on, right on. Yeah, God bless America. Yeah, power to the people. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we were all excited for him. We were all happy with him. But he knew that this judge had it out for him from the very beginning of the trial. And most people don't remember this clip because it got lost in some of the funny clips were with him talking. Let's hear him how he really felt about the judge during the trial.
If you watch the live stream of the court today, you could clearly see that Judge Jackass Jonathan Help the Police Hines is on the side of the crooked police officers who made the mistake to raid my house for no reason and placed themselves on my video camera, placed themselves in my music career. Since he's working in cahoots with the police, the first thing he did was get rid of all my claims. Now, I don't like to play victim, but let's be honest. I'm the victim of some sheriffs that raided me for nothing. First of all. So the first thing he want to do is get rid of my claims. This makes the police who raided my house for no reason the victims. Yeah, the predators are the victims. They are the predators and the victims at the same time. Notice how Judge Jackass Jonathan Help the Police Hines cut my attorney off every time he talked. Notice how he let the pedophile lawyer talk anytime he get ready. Just notice that. Notice how he dismissed the claims of the real victim. Notice how he make the predators the victim, and then he works in cahoots with them. Notice that. And it's happening to me right now, but it's going to happen to everybody. We got to do something about, you know what I'm saying? All these jackass judges in cahoots with police officers who are the predators. They are wrong. They are not sports. They're supposed to have thick skin.
All right, so you kind of get the gist. Well, when I say he's coming for him, he is coming for him with everything he has. If you guys don't remember, there is a woman who was exposing every last cop who may or may not did something sexual with her to avoid a charge. So in turn, she's about to detail what she did for the judge. Mind you, it's very graphic.
Boy Jonathan Hean only comes around when he wants to fuck me in the ass. Oh boy shows up on my doorstep wearing nothing but his birthday suit, saying, "I'm so special." I said, "Yeah boy, you really are special. You're the only one that can handle my big black strap-on nigga dick." Oh boy had been fucked in the ass so many times. He'd be like, oh, are you in yet?" "Yeah man, boy I'm wearing my big black strap-on nigga dick. What you talking about? I need a 2x4 literally to strap on my back just to make sure I don't fall in." Now here it is his turn to fuck me. It's almost like a worm.
Oh my gosh. She says she has to have a 2x4 on her back so she does not fall in to inside of the judge. Are y'all listening to this? Now, I can't replay it because it's quite vulgar in nature, but she is, and she's been exposing everyone. I guess she was like the town pass around.
Sliding in and out of my ass. It's kind of creepy. But, you know, I'm gonna say I don't enjoy putting on my big black strap-on nigga dick just to put him to shame. So, then he goes and sucks my big black nigga dick strap-on. And I ain't gonna say he don't enjoy every minute of it. Just one-on-one, just to say, I do believe he's had a lot of experience in it.
Wow. She is going to ham. Now, here's the thing, right? This is another content creator who basically proves how much the judge hates Afroman. Let's hear her out.
absolutely hated Afroman, and I'm going to tell you how and why I know this. If you don't know who I am, my name is Stephanie. I'm a criminal defense attorney, specifically a public defender, and I, like many of you, have been enjoying the shit out of the Afroman content lately, but this blows my freaking mind. So the judge in the Afroman case releases his final decision, right? It is therefore ordered and decreed the judgment is entered on behalf of the defendant, Afroman. The matter is dismissed. Based upon the relative merits of the case and the justicability of the claims, costs are divided 1/2 to plaintiffs and 1/2 to defendant foreman. Final appealable order. When someone wins a civil case, typically the other side has to pay all of the fees, right? Attorney's costs, things like that. Costs are split. Costs are never split in a civil case, ever. Okay, it's extremely rare. And for the judge to order that they split them shows how much that the fucking judge hated Afroman. And what's even more crazy is he says, based upon the relative merits of the case and the justicability of the claims. Were we listening to the same trial, Judge? Were we listening to the same trial? Because there was no merit to any of these claims. It was a waste of everybody's fucking time. So for you to put that in there and say, well, you know what, despite the jury said, despite them ruling in favor of Afroman, you still think that there's some merit and therefore we're splitting court costs is absolutely outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. I would appeal this as Afroman's attorney. This should be appealed. They shouldn't have to pay any of the court costs. The plaintiffs, aka the sheriffs, should have to pay all the court costs and the attorney's fees. End of story. Let me know what you guys think.
I agree, man. They filed a defamation lawsuit against him or being held in a false light. And he was just saying, hey, you look like Quasimodo. I banged your wife and I got rich. Hey, you might have a Johnson down there for looking Lisa. And it was like, false light. And they lost, as they should, which is great for the preservation of free speech. But at the same time, because they wasted all their resources, they should have to pay. Now, here's the thing, man. Afroman is, here's his stance on the whole thing. And some people may agree with it. But he's going to explain why he doesn't like the sheriff's department down there.
One of the officers, he came up and apologized to me yesterday. And he was telling me how he's a Christian and, this, that, and the other. And I told him that, everything was all right. I love him and everything. But I told him when he kicked down my door and when he told me he wasn't going to help me put it back up, I said, you wasn't a Christian right there. And I told him, when you flipped off my cameras, you wasn't a Christian right there. So I told him that even though I don't hate him and I forgive him, I told him I'm still going to sing that song. If I see him in Walmart, I'm not going to stare him down mean. I don't want to fight him. I ain't even mad at him. But I'm going to sing that song. If a man kills a man, he can apologize to the family. But he still got to go on to the penitentiary and do that time. Now, they broke down my door. They didn't pay for it. I'm not mad at him. I'm ready to move on. In my opinion, if the plaintiffs would have won, I believe that judge would have read everything like some Englishman in a square, like hither, here. The plaintiffs, they get this, that, and the other. But I think he looked through the paperwork and he's seen that I got cleared on everything. And I think he was so mad that he wanted to stay professional without showing his emotions. And he summed it up as short as possible. And he just disappeared. And we all had to figure out that court was over and we could go. And my lawyer had to come over and tell me that we won. He had to whisper to me because I didn't know what was like.
Yo, trust me, the judge absolutely hated the verdict. One is free speech. It prevailed. Like, yeah, you can insult people in songs and still win in the case. The judge hated that. He hated that notion. He hates the precedent that is set because you don't have to respect the judge, which Afroman has been clearly disrespecting the judge in so many ways during the case, because there's no doubt that the judge saw him make that video mid-case and say, F the judge, he's this, he's that, he's taking up for the officers, he's cutting my lawyer off. The judge saw that. But because the verdict was in the hands of the people and not the judge, Afroman was able to prevail. And because since he prevailed, now you saw how the judge was acting. Like, very, very cold, quick. Hey, let's get this down here. Hold your emotion, guys.
Hey, what happened? I know what he said. He said something really brief and quick. And my lawyer said, hey, he whispered, he said, we've won. I didn't know how it was going to go, but I knew I did the most peaceful, civilized thing I could do, I thought, to raise money to pay for the damages. I knew they had no business coming to my house in the first place. That's one of them lessons you learn from your dad. You know what I mean? My dad used to tell me, I'm not going to whoop you for fighting. I'm going to whoop you because you was over there. Because if you wasn't over there, you wouldn't have gotten a fight.
Right.
And that's a lesson, in my opinion, they should have learned from their daddy. At the same time, I always figured I had freedom of speech. That's why I didn't feel like I was committing a crime. I thought I was doing something legal and positive when I made these songs, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because coming up, you hear we have freedom of speech. I even got a single out. It says, don't you remember you said I had freedom of speech? So, I took it for granted. I always thought I had it. So when the cops left, I thought I was being a peaceful civilian kicking a can in my backyard, writing some songs, trying to sell some tapes and do something positive from the entire experience to pay for the damages.
There you go, man. Shout out to Afroman. Happy he won. He won. We won. The people won. Freedom of speech won. You could diss your homies in the song. You could say you bang their wife. You could say they look like Quasimodo. And you can call them a SOB. And if they sue you, you could reference Afroman's case. But let me know what you think in the comments section. See you in the next video. Peace.